Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the differences of the current Kraken Silver Bullet Pro version and this newest update. Okay, so if you're watching this video, it's time to go update. What you'll do is you'll need to close out of the indicator, go up to indicators, go to invite only and click it and add it to your chart. Okay, and that will update to the latest version. Okay, so your version right now looks like this. Okay, you have previous day high and low, the sessions right here, and previous weekly high and low. Okay, you can't change any times other than the GMT times, and that's all what you have. Okay, this newest update looks like, okay, so now you have alert type. That's the first thing we added. So the alert type, we have all of the session highs and lows, the previous day high and low, and the previous week high and low lines. Okay, why do we have it this way? Well, we want to see, for us to use Asia for an example. If we're trading London, Silver Bullet, we would like to see maybe the Asia high get taken, liquidity swept first, and then we want to target the Asia low. So I'd have an alert that says, hey, when a candle closes above or crosses the Asia high, give me an alert, and then I'll go in, once I get the alert, I'll go into the chart and start looking for our reversal and see if we can target the Asia low. That's how we have the alert set up. Okay, so you select your alert. Let's just do New York Killzone high, and then you can select once per bar close or once per bar. Okay, I always use once per bar close, so that's all you do. Select those right there. Now that doesn't turn on the alert. All it does is give you the chance to create this alert. Okay, so you come over here to the alerts. You'll click on that, and then you will click the plus sign. Okay, now this is only going to set an alert for whatever chart you're on right now, the symbol and the time. So I'm on our micro E-mini contract rather, and so you'll select this, and it's going to set up for that symbol and the time. So what you'll want to do is come over to condition, and then you'll select the indicator. Okay, that's all you got to do. Now, you don't want to change any of this alert function. Leave this alone. Don't say crossing up or down, greater than. No, don't do any of that. You can change it to open-ended. I just leave it open-ended because I'm going to show you how to work with it. And then you want to change the alert name. So literally you're going to select the indicator and you're going to change the alert name. What I always do is I come down here and I erase the Silver Bullet Pro, and then I erase all the rest of this. So it says price crosses above New York Kill High. H, you can say high, you can rename it to however you want, but that's what I wanted right there, and I'll hit create. If you give it a few seconds, it'll add the alert up here. There you go, on the 5 minute. Okay, it's active. So when this gets traded through, it will pull the last. It'll look. It knows what it's constantly running this in the background. So it's constantly looking at, hey, where's the New York Killzone high? When a price on this chart crosses above, it will pull this. It'll give you an alert, right? Now these alerts are ongoing, right? So let's just throw a line in here. Let's just throw a line right here. Oh, sorry. Let's throw a line right here. Okay. Let's say this is the New York Killzone high, and this candle closes above here. Let's just use this candle. This candle right here. I got an alert. Okay. Then the next 5 minute candle, it closes below here. Perfect. Well, if you have this active and I didn't pause it after it occurred, you need to pause it or restart it. You're going to pause it. If this candle right here closed above that line, I'm going to get a second alert or a third or a fourth. I'm going to keep getting alerts every time. Not if the candle stays up here, I'm not. It's got to close below it. It's got to be a bar close that crosses the line up or crosses the line down. Okay. But you want to turn off this alert because after you get it, because once it's swept liquidity, we're not looking for it to do that again. So that's how you turn off on and off your alerts. And then you can just, the next day these are all off. You just say, hey, I'm trading the PM session. Great. Then I'm going to turn on the New York lunch highs and lows. I'm going to see what liquidity is available still, and I'm going to turn on those alerts, and then I'm just going to sit back. If I'm doing something else, I'll get alerted when one of those trigger. And then once they trigger, then I can go in my chart and see how to look for a reversal. So that's how we set up the alerts. Okay, you have to set them up one at a time, just like this for each time frame that you want to have an alert on. I usually do a higher time frame, like 5 minute. I also do 1 minute. So when I'm on the chart, that's how you can have them set. Okay, so then the next change that we did is we added start and end times to all the sessions, and I also added session 7 and session 8. So I gave you 2 additional sessions down here. If you clicked on this, you're going to see session 7 and 8 here, or 7 rather. Session 7 buy side, session 7 sell side. You can change the color down here. Okay, so we added 2 additional sessions, so if you wanted to look at other time frames, you can. Why did we change the time, and why is it for the Asia session, for example, why is it 20:01 as the start time and 23:59? Shouldn't that be 20 and 00 midnight? No, and here's why. All right, so the Pine script sees 2 candles for each time. Okay, so if you want your start and end time to be at the 20 20, okay, you have to choose this candle. It's technically the 20:01 candle, because 20:01 it starts at the hour 20 and ends at 20:01. Okay. Also sees this candle as having a start time. So each candle has 2 times. It has, like this candle has hour 20 and 20:01. This candle has 19:59 and 20. So when you're looking for a start time, it's going to pull the start of whatever candle. So it's going to say, hey, this one is started at 20, so it doesn't have an earlier time. This one is hour 20. It has a start time of 19:59. So it's going to show this one as your start time. Well, we don't want this candle because this has a low, or a high, we don't want this one. We want this one. Okay, so we have to choose 20:01 because that start time is at 20. Okay. Same thing with the end time. The end time goes to the close of the candle. Okay. So if I want the close to be midnight, I have to choose the 23:59 candle because that opens at 23:59 and closes at midnight. This candle, the source code sees 2 candles. It sees an open at midnight and close at 12:01. So it's going to bypass this one and it's going to show me this candle, which is what we want because that's at the close is midnight. That's where we want it to stop, to close. We want it to start at 2000, so we have to use 20:01 to start here. Okay, let me show you on the 1 minute chart. I'm going to show you a time here. Okay, we're going to remove this line here. So I'm going to turn on the Asia session right now, and we're just going to go from 20 to 2100. So I did it before to show you. Okay, let's go back where it is here. Okay. So right now I have it as it's set. Remember, we set it. It's the default 20:01 to 2100. Okay. I'm going to put the crosshairs on so you can see at the bottom down here. You can see what candle it's on. Here is your 19:59 candle. Here is your hour 20 candle. Okay. Notice how the line right up here starts at right here, which is the 20:01, but the line is for hour 20, the high, not anywhere difference. That's why it starts that way. Okay, because it sees that the 20:01 candle, it started at this candle right here, ended here, which is the high. That candle's high is right here. I know it's confusing. Just trust me how it works. It looks that way. Watch, when I change this to 20, this is why I want to show you this here. It's going to pull this high from this candle, which is 19:59. I don't want that high. This right here is the hour 20 candle. It needs to be right here. So we want to have it at 20:01, and then we want to have this. So I'm going to reset this default so I don't mess up my settings here. But that's where we want it, right there, to show the right time. Okay. You can adjust these for if it doesn't work for you, you can change it however you want. This is the default, then that works to show these times. And you can change the GMT. That's all I would do if it were me. But again, if you have to change it for 8-cap or Pepperstone or whatever broker symbol you're using, you have the ability to do that. You also have 2 additional sessions down here. Okay. Didn't change anything with previous weekly high or low, or new week opening gap, or new day opening gap. But we did change the kill zones. Okay. So we added 2 kill zones. We added the central bank dealing range and an extra kill zone. Okay. But we also added start and end times. Okay. I'm not so concerned with the minutes here because it's just guidelines here for the kill zones. I don't need 100% pinpoint accuracy. It's close enough, so it's good, and they actually work really well that way. So, but you have start and end times. These didn't work on 8-cap and Pepperstone and other symbols like that because they have each symbol has a default time zone. The default time zone for ES, NQ, the Dow, the dollar, the majority of all the Forex pairs are Europe/Athens, I believe, and 8-cap and Pepperstone, their default time zone is like Europe, Monaco, or something like that. And so it wouldn't pull it. It would pull it'd highlight the entire background. Now it works for everything. So let me just show you how. I'll just show you those right here. Got to turn on light mode. Okay, so now it'll show this. There's your 2 to 5. There's your afternoon, your evening run, right? So, but when you go to Pepperstone or 8-cap, right now it'll work right here because this is how it works. If I show you the pro version here, and let's just go to, let's turn on, we have light mode here. Let's turn on this. The whole thing would be gray because it doesn't have the default time zone. Now we have it and it's working. Same thing with, this is Pepperstone's version, showing you that it works. Okay, your version or current version didn't work. Now it works. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see what else we have to change here. So we added those time there. We added the kill zone times. We did change. So you notice your lines. You had Sunday, midnight, 8:30 and 12 and 13:30. Now we added start and end times to everything, and we added 3 a.m., 7 a.m., and then 4 additional lines. Okay. Now I want to tell you, please do not mess with the Sunday and midnight opening lines. If so, I'm not responding to support questions on this. These are set up the way they are because that's how they need to work. I can't remove these on here because I have it all set up this way as one big group with the width and everything. So I have to, if I show start and end times here, I have to show it for everything. If I remove it, it removes it for everything, which made this not work on other brokers. So I have that here. Hour 20, it's not going to start here and show it for 2 hours. It's not how it's going to work. Okay, it's coded to start at 1800 hour on the Sunday open and end at the end of Friday. Hour 20 makes it so it shows up throughout the whole week, and there's no issues. So because hour 20 works on all time frames, that's really what that's for. So let's see where the Sunday open is right there. So please don't change this. If you change this, it's not gonna work on all the time frames, and I'm not answering support. I'm just gonna tell you to reset your default settings because I know it works. Same thing with midnight. It works midnight. If you have to change anything, change the GMT. Same thing with hour 20. I want it to show up during the whole day. Just don't mess with it. It's just easier just not to mess with those. Okay. 3 a.m. It's set up to start at 3 a.m. and end at 8. You can change this to whatever you want, 1600 if you want, and it'll show the line all the way through. Same thing with 7 o'clock goes to the end of the day. 8:30 is set for the end of the day. And then these other lines here, I want to show you that not all of them have pricing on there. Let's move this higher so you can actually see it. Okay, so see how, go back here, see how 8:30 has a price, New York Midnight has a price, the Sunday opening has a price, Asia High has a price, Asia Low has a price, 7 a.m. has a price, 3 a.m. does not. Okay, line 1, 2, 3, and 4 do not have prices. Well, it's the limitations on TradingView, because right now every session has a line attached to it, a price on the price axis. Every previous day high and low does. So there's only so many things you can add a line to, and so we ran out of space. Basically, we ran out of lines to give a price to. So you can just see the line and the label, but you won't see the price on lines 1 through 4 and the 3 o'clock a.m. open. Okay, but they are there for you. You can change the colors, you can change the times, you can do all that stuff. Okay. So I want to address the fair value gaps, the balanced price range, and the order blocks. Specifically, the order blocks. We've spent a lot of time looking at this, and you can't figure out a way to stop when you go every candle it gets darker. So unless he has to rewrite the entire code, which I'm not having him do, that is how it's going to work. So if you don't want that to show up like that, which I don't, I would rather just work to use the show balance price range and the fair value gaps, just as a way to confirm what I've already marked out on the chart, and then I turn it back off. Okay. Reason I want to do it that way is because this is using a lot of calculations in the background constantly. Every candle it's running calculations on all the lines, whether they're toggled on or off, all the session highs or lows, all the alerts, all the macros, the power of 3 candle. It's doing a lot in the background. We're almost to the limitations of this indicator. So I don't want to keep adding things, and I don't want to keep turning things on that I just want to use for Confluence, because I'm trying to lower the amount of calculations, because sometimes you will get an error here. It's rare, but you will get an error occasionally if you click on things too fast and calculation error, it times out. You'll have to switch to another time frame and then let it reload and then come back, or you'll have to exit it and re-add your indicator. So these things run constantly in the background when they're turned off, but because it's turned off, it's just a quick in and out. It's not having to recalculate everything. So I don't know how else to describe it, but same thing with all the macros. They're on there, and the PO3 candle. Now you can turn everything on, and it's not gonna kill it. Let's turn on a few macros here, and let's turn on the order blocks. Let's turn on the balanced price range. Have all the lines on. We need to show some silver bullet times. We have everything turned on. I'm on the 1 minute, so I'm not doing that. Let's throw on some other sessions here. Previous day high and low. Okay. It's going to calculate here. It's on the 1 minute. It's going to throw all this stuff on here. Okay, it's all on there. It's going to calculate it every minute. It's going to keep calculating. Okay, it's a lot of stuff going on in the background. So I don't like having all that on the chart at one time. So I turn that off and just use it for Confluence. Okay, I don't need it on there. It's more for learning anyway. Same thing with the macros. I do like the power of 3 candles, so I usually leave that on when I'm trading live. And then obviously I don't need every single one of these lines on. But you get the point. That's the new version of the indicator. So I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, you'll have to close out of here and go to the invite only scripts and add it to your chart, and that will be updated.